After reading some reviews and watching the YouTube videos, talking to the local dealer, I decided to pull the trigger on the SSR 300 dirt bike. So I'm looking to get it on the trails here pretty quick. I'm going to get with my friend Matt Plotz. Matt drives a 250X and has a Recluse clutch. So I'm hoping to get a ride in and hopefully swap bikes around and get his first impressions. For anyone here who is wanting to learn a little bit more about this bike, I'll go over some of the so-called issues I have had. One thing is this is a 2021 model, so it has a different carburetor on it than the 20 model. It's got a pumper carb on it, but still this thing is extremely cold-blooded. It doesn't start really well. I usually have to prime it with the throttle 3 to 5 times and then it starts up pretty good. Takes it quite a while to warm up. Once warmed up, it runs really well though. Something that happened to me was my fuel line got kinked. The petcock is way up underneath the frame here. The fuel line comes directly off the back and has to make a quick bend and come around in an S shape and go into the carburetor. I actually ended up getting it kinked where it come off the petcock in the back there. So the bike was stalling after it would go through a float bowl of gas. It couldn't keep up and it would end up stalling. And it took me a while because you can't see back in there very good that the gas line was actually kinked, but that was the problem. The gas line they give you on these is very, I'm going to say pliable and soft. So any sharp bend on it, it's very easy to kink the gas line. So that's something that maybe you should watch out for. I'm sure that was totally my fault, but again, it's something that happened. After going for a ride and unloading it back off my truck, I noticed that the spark plug wire had fallen down on the exhaust chamber there. They give you quite a long spark plug wire, and again, probably totally my fault getting it misplaced, but it ended up melding that wire. But luckily the wire was so long I was able to actually cut it back and redo it and make it so it is up out of the way and can't get melded again on the exhaust. There was actually a gouge in the fork cap on this bike, and when they put it together, my mechanic noticed that and reported it, and SSR immediately right away sent me out a whole new fork tube assembly, no questions asked. Hats off to Leisure Time Power Sports in Bradford, Pennsylvania for noticing that and taking care of their customer. So the fuel mixture screw on these carburetors is directly on the bottom of the carburetor. You're going to want to probably play with that to get it starting, idling, and running to its best potential. So do yourself a favor and spend $10 to get one that's easily adjustable. It's pretty easy to install because you can actually just loosen up the clamps on the rubber boots of the carburetor and actually just twist the carburetor towards you enough to get the original one out and put the replacement one in, and then it's easy to make the adjustments. I added the Tusk D-Flex Pro handguards. I like the looks of them. They go great with the bike, but I can tell you that the brackets for them do not fit well with these handlebars. They were not easy to put on, and that's putting it lightly, but you can get them on there. The SSR 300 does not come equipped to be compliant with public riding areas. It does not come with a spark arrestor, so I ended up adding a spark arrestor. Bought one from Fish Moto. They're a little pricey, but they're a quality product. Easy to install, and been happy with it so far. The SSR 300 comes from the factory with a pretty cheap non-O-ring drive chain, so I still have the original on, but I have one, a good O-ring chain to put on in the near future here. So you might want to consider changing that out fairly quickly after you get your bike home. I live and ride in southern tier of western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. So for me, the gearing was a little bit high on this. I was having trouble actually staying in second gear in the tight and rough stuff. So I've geared it down a little bit. I actually went 1 down on the front sprocket, which equals about 3 up on the rear, just to see if that's what I like, and I've been pretty happy with that gearing so far. So that pretty much sums it up. I'm going to get this thing loaded up and meet up with Matt and hopefully get some fun trail riding in. Yeah, that's the short way.
tree is this?
Nice.
Well, it's better than what it was.
That's why you invite young guys to ride with you.
Right. Ooh, that's a different thump, let me tell you. I already pulled in on the clutch. It's a hard habit to break. You want to go first? All right. I enjoy not having to work the clutch, Mark. I'm lugging it. Let me tell you, one of the nice things about the Recluse is you can go into a corner, hit the rear brake, and just lock it up hard. And you don't got to worry about stalling it. This is nice!
Yeah, it kind of scares the shit out of me still.
That was a good stretch to let it happen. It moves.
Yeah, it's got some guts.
Whoa! I went through there on the left front.
Right here?
Yeah, it's a pretty good dog.
Pretty
down.
good?
Man, your suspension is so nice.
Really? I kind of like yours too.
You like mine? I like yours around the, I don't know, maybe it's just because you have nice tires, new tires. But man, going around the corners, I feel like I have a ton more grip.
Really?
Yeah, it's nice.
Your bike feels a little more compact to me. It
I
doesn't
agree.
feel...
I think mine is a little bit narrower.
so big.
It's nice when you're like, you can like move it like that when you're standing up. You want to go for it? Well, she's muddy now.
see the hawk? Hawk flew out. He's right on that limb up there that goes up and turns at 45 degrees. There's a hawk right there, right after that limb turn.
Oh yeah. Huh.
He just flew out right here and landed right there.
Nice.
I'm starting to like the Recluse clutch too much. I better give it back to you.
The biggest thing I think about the Recluse is the fact that you can go into a corner and you can just mash the rear brake and lock up the rear tire without having to worry about stalling it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
But she's a little muddy now.
Good.
That was nice. It's a really nice bike. It's a hoot, man.
That's what I wanted. It was a powerful bike set up for trails, not racing, you know.
Yeah.
They gave me such a long spark plug wire. I got back from Garrett's or whatever, and it wasn't running good, which that wasn't a problem.
Yep.
But it went down on this thing.
Oh, did it melt it?
And it melted it.
Oh, that is a really long one.
So it was so long, I actually cut it back and redid it.
Oh yeah, smart.
And now it's out of the way.
Yeah,
and I thought, well, there, now it'll run good, and it didn't. It was the whole time it was a pinch gas line.
Yeah. But no, that's definitely long enough. There's no reason for it to be longer.
This is actually an expansion chamber.
I see that.
Right
yeah.
off from that, some weird freaking get up.
At first I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
I like it.
We're almost back. We only got another mile.
8.2 on my tack.
Is it?
Yep.